Welcome dear student and Jai Swaminarayan. In the previous video, we were discussed about a Galileo's experiment of the motion of an object on the inclined plane. And from the Galileo's experiment, Galileo gave us a three important result of the experiment. Right? Newton was further study the Galileo's experiment and give a three important laws of the motion that are called the Newton's law of the motion. So dear student, in this video we will discuss about the Newton's first law of the motion. But before that, let us revise the important results of the Galileo's experiment. Right? So Galileo shows that object moves with a constant speed when there is no force act on it. Right? When the object is moving with the constant speed, right? If the resultant external force is zero, the object will continue to move with the constant speed. Or we can say that if the resultant external force acting on the object is zero, right, the object will continue its uniform motion, right? Second experiment Galileo was performed that a inclined slope, right, and he gave us the result when the marble rolls down on an inclined plane, its velocity is increases, and when the marble goes up on the inclined plane, its velocity is decreases. So from that, Galileo states that when the object is moving down on the inclined plane, right, its speed and velocity is increases, but when the object move up on an inclined plane, its velocity as well as the speed of the object is decreases. Further, the Galileo performed the experiment of the two inclined slope. Right? If the inclination of the both the slope are same, right, the marble will reach at the same height when it was released on the first slope. Suppose the marble is released at the highest point on the second plane, the marble reached to the highest point at the same height. And third result of the Galileo's experiment, if the inclination of the second plane is decreases, it travels the more distance to reach the original height. But if the inclination of the second plane made zero, right, the slope reduces to the zero, the object will continue to move to reach at the same height. So from this experiment, Galileo stated that there is no force is required to move the object with the uniform motion. But practically it is impossible because of the friction force, the motion of the marble will be stopped after traveling a some distance. So understand your student Galileo's experiment of the motion. Newton was further studied Galileo's ideas on force and the motion and represent the three fundamental laws of the motion, and these laws are called the Newton's law of the motion. So Newton further studies the Galileo's experiment on the force, on the motion, and represent the three fundamental laws of the motion. That laws are called the Newton's law of the motion. Step by step we will study all the three laws of the motion, but today we will discuss about the first law of the motion. So let us discuss the Newton's first law of the motion. So Newton's first law of the motion state that an object remains in the state of the rest or in a uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an applied force. That means that an object remains in a state of the rest or in a uniform motion in a straight line until and unless we doesn't apply any external force on the object. So dear student, that means when we applied the external force on the object, the state of the object will be changed. And unless and until and unless if it doesn't apply any force on the object, an object remains in a state of the rest, and it will continue if it moves with the uniform motion, right? So Newton first law states that an object remains in a state of a rest or in a uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that the state by an applied force, right? So this means that when the external force is applied on the object, the state of the object will be changed, and if we doesn't apply any external force on the object remains maintain its state, right? The object maintain its a state of the rest or it's a state of the uniform motion, right? So dear student, understand this Newton first law of the motion. What is the Newton first law of the motion? An object remains in a state of the rest or in a uniform motion in a straight line unless the compelled to change that the state by applied force, कि जब तक हम फोर्स अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे तब तक ऑब्जेक्ट रेस्ट है तो रेस्ट ही रहेगा, और ऑब्जेक्ट यूनिफॉर्म मोशन में मूव कर रहा है, ऑब्जेक्ट कांस्टेंट स्पीड से मूव कर रहा है तो उसकी कांस्टेंट स्पीड से मूव होगा, राइट? सो इन द अदर वर्ड द न्यूटन गिव्स दैट ऑल द ऑब्जेक्ट resist a change in their state of the motion, right? All the object maintain its state of the motion or a rest, right? So all the object has a property to resist the change of its state. It's a state of a rest or it's a state of the motion, right? So the property of the body, a property of the object that resists the change of a state is called the inertia. So what do you mean by the inertia? The Newton give a word of this property is called the inertia. So inertia is the natural tendency, natural property of the object to remain in the state of the rest or in a uniform motion is called the inertia. So dear student, in the other word, the property of the body to maintain, to resist the state of the body of a rest or of a uniform motion is called the inertia. So inertia is the property of the object to resist the change of a state, right? So therefore the Newton first law is also known as the law of the inertia. So according to the Newton's first law, all the object has a some property, has a one property to resist the change of its state, right? So dear student, let us discuss the some example of the inertia with the help of the activity given in the textbook. So activity number 9.1 given in the textbook also, right? Make a pile of the similar carom coil on a table as shown in the figure, right? You are aware of playing the caroms. So now make a pile of the carom coins on the table, right at the center of the carom. Now attempt a sharp horizontal hit at the bottom of the pile using another carom coin or a striker. So with the help of the striker, attempt a sharp horizontal hit such that only a lowest coin will move away, right? The bottom of the coil moves out quickly, right? So if we hit a pile of the coil with the striker with the very high speed, right, the bottom of the coin moves out quickly. Once the lowest coin is removed, the inertia of the other coin makes them fall vertically on the table. So all the other coins on the table is as it is. Due to the inertia of the coil, all the other coils are remains as it is, right? So dear student, when we strike a pile of the carom coils, right, due to the force on the lowest coin, the lowest coin moves out quickly, but due to the inertia of the other coins, the pile of the other coins are as it is. So due to the inertia, only the carom coin at the bottom of the piles is removed when a fast moving of the coin or a striker hit it. So when we hit a striker very fast, only the bottom coin will be moved, and due to the inertia of the other coin falls vertically on the table. So understand this activity. This activity shows that the inertia of the carom coins, right? So when we apply a force on the lowest coin, only the lowest coin will move fast, and due to the inertia of the other coins are falls vertically as it is, right? So understand this activity. So now let us see the another activity to understand more about the inertia. Activity number 9.2. Set a 5 rupees coin on a stiff playing card covering an empty glass timber tumbler standing on a table as shown in the figure. So if take a one empty glass and place a one card playing card covering a top of the table and put at the center 5 rupees coin. So what we do? We do a set of 5 rupees coin on a steep playing card covering an empty glass tumbler standing on a table as shown in a figure. Right? As shown in this figure, take a one empty glass and cover it with the playing cards and set a 5 rupees coin or any other coin at the center of the card. Now, give the card a sharp horizontal flick with the fingers. If we do it fast, then the card shoots away, allowing a coin to fall vertically into a glass tumbler due to its inertia. So when we hit a cards with the help of the finger, right, very quickly, very large amount of the force applied on the card with the help of the finger, the card will shoot away from the glass, and due to the inertia of the coin will fall vertically into the glass. So the inertia of the coin tries to maintain its state of the rest even when the card flows off. Even the card is moving away from the glass, due to the inertia of the coin tries to maintain its state of the rest, because here initially the coin is rest on the card. So now when we flick a card with the finger very fast, the card will move away from the glass. But due to the inertia of the coin tries to maintain its rest condition, right? So this shows the inertia of the coin. When the playing card is flicked with a finger, the coin placed over it falls in the tumbler, right? So if we move a card very fast, right, if we flick a card very fast, due to the inertia of the coin maintain its state of the rest, and due to this the coin fall vertically into the glass, right? So dear student, understand both the activity regarding the inertia of the object. What is the inertia of the object? Inertia of the object is a property of object which resists, which maintains to state of the object, right? Rest or the motion, uniform motion. So now dear student, let us see the examples of the inertia, right? First example of the inertia we were discussed in activity number 1. If a striker hits a pile of a coin on a carom board, the lowest coin moves out, and due to the inertia of the race, the other coins fall down vertically, right? So when the striker hits a pile of the coins very fast, right, the lowest coin moves out, and due to the inertia of the other coil, the other coins rest as it is, right? The other coins fall down vertically as it is. So first example of the inertia given in the activity 9.1 also, right? Second example, if a coin is placed on a playing card over a tumbler is flicked with the finger very fast. Due to the inertia of a coin rest, the coin falls down in the tumbler, right? So as per the activity number 9.2, if we place a coin on a playing card over a glass tumbler, and when we flick a playing card with the finger very fast, due to the inertia of the coin tries to maintain its rest, and due to this the coil falls down into the tumbler, right? Third, when we travel in a car and the driver applies the brakes suddenly, when we traveling with the car or a bus and the driver applies a brake suddenly, we tends to fall forward due to the inertia of the motion. So when the driver applies the brake suddenly, we are trying to maintain our state of the rest, and due to the inertia of the our body, we tends to fall forward due to the inertia of the motion. So dear student, understand all the examples of the inertia, right? So try to find out this more example of the inertia and write down one or two more example regarding the inertia of the object. So dear student, we understand about the inertia, and due to the inertia of the object will try to maintain its state of the rest or state of the uniform motion, right? So what is the difference between the inertia and mass? Let us discuss about the what do you mean by the inertia and what is it related to the mass. So when a body at a rest continue to be at a rest and a body in motion, uniform motion, continue to be in the motion, this property of the body is called the inertia, right? A body at a rest continue to be rest and a body in a uniform motion continue to be in motion, and this property of the body is called the inertia property, and due to this inertia property body will try to maintain its state of the rest or it's a state of the uniform motion. So dear student, the inertia of a body is measured by the magnitude of the force required to change the state of the body. So how we can measure the inertia of the any body? So the inertia of the any body is measured by the magnitude of the force required to change the state of the rest or required to change the uniform state of the matter. So dear student, as our general experience is that to change the state of the heavier body, we require a more force compared to the to change the state of the lighter body. So the force required to change the state of the heavier body is more than the force required to change the lighter body. So dear student, heavier body has a more inertia compared to the lighter body. So this is because of the mass of the heavier body is more than the mass of the lighter body, right? So we know that if we want to move a heavier object, we require a more force. So we can say that the heavier body has a more inertia. If we want to move a lighter object, smaller object, we require a less force. So the inertia of the smaller body is a less, right? So the force required to change the state of the heavier body is more than the force required to change the state of the lighter body. This is because the mass of the heavier body is more than the mass of the lighter body. So dear student, mass of the body is a measure of the inertia. So what is the inertia? The inertia of the body is the measure by the magnitude of the force required to change the state of the body. Inertia is the property of the body to maintain, to resist the its state, whereas the mass of the body is the measure of its inertia. So the measure of its measure of the inertia of the body is called the mass, right? Mass to be measured with the help of the weighing machine, right? So as per in this figure, if you want to move this lighter object, right, it has a less mass, right? We require a less amount of the force to move a smaller object. So inertia of the smaller object is less, and if you want to move this larger object, we require a more force, right? So the inertia of the larger object is a more. So understand, dear student, what is the relation between the inertia and the mass of the object. Try to differentiate inertia and mass. What is the difference between the inertia and mass? Inertia of the object, right, is the property of the object, property of the body, which tried to maintain its state of the rest or state of the uniform motion. Whereas mass of the body, what is the mass of the body? The measurement of the inertia of the body is called the mass, right? So dear student, I hope that you understand the Newton's first law and the inertia of the body, right? What is the Newton's first law? Newton's first law states that a body maintains its state of the rest or a state of the uniform motion until and unless if it doesn't apply any force on it, right?